Welcome back, traders. The second portion of our show, Market Movers. We have plenty of things moving this morning. Earnings season, not much news from overseas, but Dennis, where would you like to start?
Well, we might as well start with the merger here, Joel. Obviously, over the weekend, El Paso EP is going to be acquired by KMI, Kinder Morgan. It appears that there's three options there for the shareholders. I've put it on the site. They can take $25.91 cash, they can take 0.6935 KMI, or 14.65 cash and 0.4187 KMI. So it looks like, EP should probably trade off of a ratio of 0.9635 KMI initially here. But that's, it's still kind of funny when you have three different options. So maybe wait a little bit and see how it's trading there before you follow that. Obviously, there's always a risk premium put in it too. So it won't trade right up to the 0.9635 ratio. That would be on the takeover day, but it would slowly move up to that ratio. KMI trading 28.5 here, Joel. Obviously, we can do some numbers for that one.
Yeah, that seemed to like the basic understanding of this deal. I understand that El Paso will not be seeking any other bidders as well. So it looks like they're fairly confident with the antitrust regulation that this is going to go through. You had an excellent breakout here in the Kinder Morgan over 27.25. That really had been keeping the stock in check going back all the way to the middle of September. Now we busted through that level, so let's use that 27.25 as excellent support in the stock now that we're trading above it. Took out the resistance at 28 as well. I just would use the first 5-10 minutes of trading, take the high and the low, and if in fact it trades above the opening price first, comes back down to the open, maybe a shorting opportunity. But above that level that we talked about, I mean, we could be going to $30 in this Kinder Morgan.
Couple other stocks that do track Kinder Morgan. They don't track it perfectly, but they're owned by Kinder Morgan, is KMR, which is Kinder Morgan Management, and KMP, which is Kinder Morgan Energy Partners. Now, those stocks are just, wholly owned, I think, by KMI, but I think we should give some numbers on those because those could move up a little bit in sympathy, and they actually are here in the pre-market already this morning, Joel. Got KMR trading up about $1 here at 63.5. I like that 64 area for initial resistance on the KMR. And on the KMP, I've got the stock currently trading here at 73.08 after closing 71.51. So it's getting a nice pop there, breaking out over that initial 72 area. And I'd say the next stopping point looks kind of like 74. But obviously technicals kind of take a back seat always when you're talking about fundamentals, Joel.
Yeah, these are kind of both floating up near the high, so I think I just would have to go back, to see, how this thing trades in the first 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, these are, pretty big moves up in these stocks on an anticipated deal. So, I would stick with the levels that you gave.
Obviously, the big earnings announcement this morning, Citigroup announcing earnings here. Initially popped up pretty good, Joel, in the mid-29s. It's pulled back now, 28.90. Looks like they beat 3 cents is what it's looking like to me. So slight beat, which is good because the financials obviously have been under serious water coming into these reports, aside from, the last couple of trading sessions. But, I look at this in $30. Looks like pretty good resistance on Citigroup, but we're over $1 away from there. So maybe Joel's got some numbers that are a little closer.
No, I think you're right on that. 29.97 was the high back on October 12th. So we did test that a little bit in the pre-market. But that's going to be excellent resistance. I mean, this stock had a double bottom from Thursday and Friday at 27.23 to 27.25. So as long as, we're still, $1.50 away from those numbers, but those should provide excellent support. In fact, in the pre-market, that stock did just hit $30 briefly before it peeled back. So that will give other added significance to that number as well. Also, folks, I'm sure you all, got your bearings this weekend, and they're kind of talking up the banks. So that could be some added momentum to the bank stocks this morning.
But we got Wells Fargo here, Joel, this morning. They reported as well, so maybe that'll put a little pressure back on because Wells didn't do quite as well as Citigroup. Just it looks like in line, or it depends how you read the report. It might be a miss of a penny. It's trading like a miss. Those stocks down $1 here, 25.65 after closing at 26.67. Just looking at the chart, I was looking at the 25.75, 25.85 area. It's trading below there now. So I maybe use that area for my swing number. It starts to open up when you get below there, though, Joel.
Huge, Dennis. 25.66 was the low on Thursday, and then 25.67 was the low on the 11th. So it's right here, right where it's trading. It'd be huge swing number. Do see 25.23 after that. So I imagine things are going to get pretty thick between those two levels. Below that, you're looking at 24.54, and then of course, a couple other lows below that. But thick stock. I didn't get to see all the details and the numbers here. I have a feeling we're going to be opening into pretty good support here, though.
This one's kind of bouncing around a bit. Hasbro reported earlier on this morning, HAS. Obviously, Mattel reported Friday, and they kind of disappointed. Hasbro did the same, disappointing just slightly. Stock's now trading $34.48 after closing at $34.75. Traded down just under 34 there at $33.95 a while ago here this morning. I think that 34 should be a good swing number. What do you got, Joel?
I'm a little bit below that. 33.80 was Friday's low, and then bumping back 5 days before that, your 33.61 held, as well as your 33.88, 33.86. So we're quite a ways away from there now, but if in fact we do get a pullback anywhere under that $34 area down to 33.80 should be pretty good support. Did see we did bounce off 33.95 in the pre-market, but you're not talking about a whole heck of a lot of volume.
Caterpillar getting upgrade at Goldman. Obviously, Goldman usually your brokerage house with the most influence, and Caterpillar is trading up significantly. On a day we're down 3 in the SPOOs. It's trading 85.07 right now after closing at 84.09. I look at the 85. I kind of see a little bit of size, a little bit of technical resistance. So maybe that's the first stopping point for it and the first initial resistance. We'll have to see how it responds to there. If it can just cut right through there, then it obviously can move higher, but maybe that gives you a little bit of initial resistance, Joel.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time, I mean, this stock has basically hit 67.54 on October 4th, and it's now trading at 85, so you've had quite a strong move here to the upside. I'd hasten to say you might be some people looking at, take some profits off that kind of move. The major resistance, though, stands at this 87.46 to 87.69 level. Those are the highs back from the middle of September, but it's going to take a real good push to get up there. I do see 85.77 was able to capture the high of the day on the 20th, so that would be another level to keep an eye on before that 87. Coming back on the downside, 84.23 was Friday's high. That will serve as support. If we take out that level, then we can render the Golders upgrade meaningless.
Just want to step back to the El Paso merger. Obviously, some of you we didn't mention before, there's some other natural gas stocks that are getting pretty good sympathetic moves here this morning. APC, which is Anadarko Petroleum, is actually up very significantly, 73.85 after closing at 70.57. I've got UPL trading slightly up, Ultra Petroleum. I've got WLL, which is Whiting Petroleum, trading up $42 after closing at 40.05. WMB 28.50 after 27.32. So really what I'm seeing in my filters this morning is a lot of your natural gas stocks here are trading up on that merger. So I think you need to keep that in mind if you are trading in that sector here today, Joel.
Okay, just a quick recap. The S&P's trading here near the Globex low, just kind of sitting here at the 12.16 level. Look for good support to come in at the 12.10. Of course, going back on the upside, we have the close in Friday's high, as well as a real significant number that we did trade through during the Globex session, but still like that 12.23.75. Well, folks, thanks for joining us on this Monday morning, Merger Monday. We'll be back with you tomorrow.